The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
Okay, you gotta bear with me. It's been a week.
You sound better than I did in my sick episode.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just been a week, man. I guess I'll explain from the beginning. Got back from the lake last week. We did a podcast. Everything was great. Angie starts feeling bad Friday. Really bad Saturday. Really bad Sunday. Can't go to work. I was like, take a COVID test. We got him. Takes a COVID test. COVID.
Yeah.
And then I started having like an itchy throat on Monday because I can almost know immediately when I start feeling or I'm going to get sick.
Yeah.
And so Monday I get up in the morning, I'm like, you got me.
Yeah.
And then okay, so this is how it works, like it always works. So what is this? Like Monday, yeah. So Monday said, let's take a COVID test. She has COVID, and then my body's like, oh, COVID? Okay. And then it's just downhill from there, dude. Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday were bad. Today's a bit better than most. And then, like I said in last week's episode, I have roofers here now re-roofing my house. So it's been a week, man.
Yeah.
Then I get up this morning, my water heater doesn't work. So I had to figure that out. Like, come on, man.
Give me a break.
Give me a break. But guess what?
What?
Who's got two thumbs up? This guy has his LSD video done and uploaded. And if you're watching this episode Monday morning on the Grindr TV channel,
yes,
head over to the Custom Life channel and watch the LSD video that premiered literally the exact same time.
All right.
Yeah.
Cross promotion.
Cross promotion, dude. So like a highlight.
Does it feel good?
I'm like, even though I've had a really bad week and crappy day, I'm in a good mood right now because I literally just finished it probably earlier this afternoon, which is funny because I've been like plugging away at it, getting it done. Monday, I start to not feel good and I start to go down, and like I remember sitting there and I'm like, oh, I can't finish anymore. I got to go lay down. So I go lay down and like I'm sick for the next 3 days. And the only thing I'm thinking like, I got to finish that video. No matter what happens, no matter how I feel at the end of the week, I have to finish that video.
Yeah.
So I get up today, well, besides the water heater breaking down. Yeah. And I'm like, I got to finish that video. I dive into the program and I realize you were done. I spent probably another hour, maybe 2 on it. And I was like, dude, you were done.
Hell yeah.
So I'm super stoked about that. I've already started on the mini Nats video.
Yep.
Look at me.
I have this thing now where I edit one video in here on this computer, and then when Chelsea gets home, I start editing another video in the living room on my laptop. So my mini Nats videos is already like 25% cut through.
Nice.
So I just lay in the living room floor, and while we're watching TV, I just cut clips and I drop clips onto the timeline.
That's awesome. That's really good.
So
That's
even
cool.
like yesterday, Mike, because I'm editing all the Salt Lake City C10 Nationals videos. Like I edited the main one here, and then I unplugged the hard drive, plugged it into the laptop, and I was just sitting on the chair out there, and I edited one more video out there, and then so I just like alternate there to here, there to here.
That's good. That's a good way to do it. You dropped your reunion video yesterday.
I did.
That was awesome. It was a cool video.
That was a fun one. It would like.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
Yeah. That one was like obviously with Mike's help, that's a tough one because I do photos there, the booth there, and a video there.
Right.
So I have to walk the show like a lot of different times. But the nice part about there is you just start at the top of the parking garage and you work your way down.
Oh, there you go. And by the time you're at the bottom, you're done.
Yeah, and then then I have to go change my lens, go up to the top, and I have to do it again for photos.
Because you're shooting photos for like
for a magazine. So like yeah. So I always every time I say they'll like hit me up like, hey, can you get us some photos for the magazine? I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, no, I should not do that. So
it's hard to say no.
It is hard to say no because I'm like, well, I'm already there, make an extra few bucks,
but like you said, at least you have the elusive second member of Grinder TV.
Exactly.
Which is Mike Milan.
Yes.
Which is like, it's so great. Like anytime Mike can be involved in something, I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah. He just gives me footage and then I go through it and I was like, oh, then I just take out little tidbits of goodness.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's really, really cool. Yeah, man. We're doing stuff, even though we've both been hit with being pretty sick.
Yep.
We're doing stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What else is going on? How are you doing in your heat? Because it's hot here.
I left my house once since, let's see, today's Friday. I went down to Tray 5 on Monday morning and was there for like 2 hours maybe. And then I came home and I haven't left my house since. I walk outside to go check the mail and that's it.
Give me like a description of how hot it is there right now.
It's like so right now currently at 5:30 p.m. where I'm at, it's 110. So, but it's always hotter like in Phoenix. You'll experience
like
this
in the I've actually seen like videos and stuff about that, about like how the interior of the city is always much hotter because they don't have like much greenery and trees and stuff. It's a lot more concrete.
Yeah, it's 113 there right now at 5:30.
In the middle of Phoenix.
In the middle of Phoenix, yeah. So it's only the low will be 91. So that's like
the killer. So here it's like 104.
Yeah.
But at like between like 3 and 5 a.m., it's going to be like 70 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, like when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
It cools off. And like here, it doesn't. So just like your AC is just like
just pumping.
Just going.
Man, and it's like one of those things where if like it's literally life or death if your AC goes out.
That it is illegal for the electric company to shut your power off here during the summer.
I would imagine.
You could not pay your electric bill, and it is illegal for them to cut your power. Now, October, they're shutting that. They're shut. You know what I mean? But like during the summer, if they do it, they could be charged with murder.
Jeez, that's insane, man. That's crazy. Well,
there's no let up. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just like anything else. It's during the winter when you live in the winter places and it's super cold. Mm-hmm. If your heater goes out, you're dead.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
I mean, you could start a fire. There's nothing we can do here. If we have a pool, you could live in your pool. But yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Well, here you are. And here we are.
And you will experience this because you are still coming out.
I am still coming. There is one tiny, tiny thing everything is hinging on.
Oh, okay.
And it is if my youngest doesn't get sick. Because she did. Okay. So basically what happened is Angie got sick. You know, I told you that. And then I got sick. And then my oldest got sick. Well, my youngest didn't. And she's just, because she's supposed to go to an Angels game this Sunday with her friend. Mm-hmm. And she's like, there's no way I'm missing this. She shut the door. I haven't seen her in a week. She shut her door.
Yeah.
And I gotta hand it to her. She's got some stick-to-itiveness because I have not literally seen her in a week. I'll go outside and like knock on her window and wave, Joel, hey.
What does she do? Does she ever come out of the room to eat or anything?
We like clear out. Okay, take this for however you want. We clear out. We like sanitize all the handles, and then we're like, okay. So she goes out, makes her food, and back in.
Okay, so she might as well just stay outside because it's not really working. Because if you're in the area,
well, I mean,
everything's still in the air for hours.
Well, okay. I don't know, but I'm just saying she's still doing good. She's still doing good. She's feeling great. So, well, hopefully.
So you're gonna wake up Monday morning and go, "You good? All right, bye."
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But if she, dude, Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am slated to come out there Monday, and we're gonna shoot multiple podcasts. I'm super stoked. I feel
You never responded to my messages.
dude. I didn't like. I went like blackout for 3 days. I didn't answer anybody's messages. People were messaging me, asking me stuff, and I just didn't answer. So if you were one of those people who I haven't messaged back or messaged me, you're like, what the hell's wrong with this dude?
I thought you just do that normally.
Well, no, I still
You responded to my questions with, "Well, I got COVID." I had asked you questions before that, and then your response later on that night was, "Yep, I got COVID."
Oh, yeah. See, my brain just wasn't working.
Wasn't there?
It wasn't there. So yeah,
Do you get upset when you get sick?
I mean, no, I don't get upset. I just like I'm just like, I guess this sounds so typical, whatever. But I just like when I'm sick I'm not a fun person to be around. I'm just sick.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't like it. You know, I'm not one of those who can battle through it.
Yeah.
Very much like.
I just stay in bed. Like when I came down with whatever I had a couple weeks ago, I was like, I cannot miss Salt Lake City, and I leave for Salt Lake City Thursday morning. So this was like Friday. I had just gotten back from Bakersfield, landed, and I was like, like you said, your body tells you. You know that there's that one telltale sign.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, let's see how this goes. Because
damn it.
Yeah, I'm getting sick. So that was Friday night. Saturday, I was in bed from essentially Saturday until Sunday night. I just lay out because the best thing to do for your body when you're sick is just rest. Don't move.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. But yeah, so like I was thinking about how to present this. So this time getting COVID was not as bad as the first time getting COVID, but not as easy as the second time getting COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, which is funny because it's funny in our little group chat. Because I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't even go in the group chat and say anything.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, yeah, I had COVID, and then our friend is like, dude, that's so 2020.
And nobody cares anymore.
Nobody
like before, at the first, you'd be like, yeah, I have COVID. Like, ooh, I hope you're all right. And now it's like, I have COVID. You're like, yeah, whatever, bro. I probably had that last week.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's been.
I also
it's
say
been a
like
rough one.
the COVID excuses are over too. You're like, I can't make it. I have COVID. No, it doesn't matter. Just
Yeah. I know you were like that too. You're like, yeah, as long as you're feeling good, dude.
yeah, I don't care. I just was sick and I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
All I know is I didn't feel good at all.
Yeah, but no, and it was kind of a good week to happen because it didn't have lots of. I mean, besides my entire house being re-roofed, but whatever. But like as far as like events or shows or anything coming up, because nothing was really going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend. There's a cruise night which I was hoping to go to, but we'll see how that goes. Coming out to you next weekend is our club barbecue, which is not like an official event, but that's a thing that I'm doing. After that, I think the next week after that is the Neptune's Net cruise.
Yeah, that is. It was good timing getting sick because I was saying the same thing. It was my sickness was like on an off week of my busy June.
Right.
If I would have gotten sick the weekend of Salt Lake City, I would have been. That would have really been bad.
Yeah, that'd have been miserable.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Right.
So.
Oh man, but here we are. So what's going? What else is going? What do we talk about on today's podcast?
Just being sick.
Yeah, just about our lives. It seems like a very like. This seems like a very like okay, yes.
I know. I know. I'm really excited for the next few weeks because we're going to knock out essentially a month's worth of podcasts.
I know.
Monday and Tuesday.
I'm very excited. It's going to give us a little break. There was a time last year around this time when we were like ahead. We were at least a week ahead. And then you know how things happen. Eventually you're not a week ahead and then you're on schedule.
And we really need guests.
We do. Really need guests. I feel like we're really lacking in that department. But we got some good ones. I'm really excited about this. We got some really good ones coming up.
We're going to do Mike Milan.
Yes. Which it's funny, and now I'm going to cut you off, but it's funny because was he our first guest or second? No, Joey was our first guest.
Joey was first.
Was Will second?
Was Will second? I don't know.
I don't know if Will
It was.
but
It
anyway,
was this time last year when Mike was the guest.
exactly this time last year.
Yeah,
when Mike
because
was
we did it out at the Slowdown. That's right. Yeah, and then
So,
so
I'm
then
looking forward to
Tuesday.
catching up with him and
Yeah.
finding out. Like I said, sorry, we'll move on. But yeah, I'm real. Like I said, I'm excited to catch up with him and excited to like talk to him about being the elusive like second member. You know what I mean? He's like, you know what he's like? He's like a bonus character.
He is.
He's like the one you unlock. you
So-
play our listeners, our viewers of our channels play this game every single week. They listen every single week, and then every once in a while you get that special character unlocked.
Your little bonus.
Bonus character.
This is so funny, right? So, this there was a kid that came up to me at Salt Lake City, C10 Nationals, and he's like, "Hey man, love the channel, like Grinder TV, right?" And like, yeah, and then there was a comment made on one of my videos. It was either the Nissan video or something, and it was like something. Hey Mike, great job. Something. I met you in Salt Lake City.
Oh,
So he thought I was Mike.
he thought you were Mike.
Yeah,
That's a pretty
or
good
he- or
cross
he-
up.
No, not that I was Mike. Sorry, he thought Mike made the video
Oh, I see. Okay.
or something like that. It was just funny. It was like,
yeah, that is funny.
yeah. So now people go up to Mike all the time. They're like, "Hey man, great job on that video." That he just. It's like when you're driving
Mike, your
someone
editing
else's.
is so
it's like
nice.
when you're driving someone else's truck
Yeah.
and they're like, "Nice truck." You're like, "Thanks,
Thanks.
appreciate it."
That's so great.
Yeah,
I love
it's
every bit
hilarious.
of that. It's amazing.
And then we're gonna do Seth on Tuesday morning, and then
That's
Joe,
switch suspension.
Joe C10 Vatos.
Yeah.
And then the other person I wanted to do that day was who I messaged you and you never replied to me.
Oh, that was the question.
That
Well,
was
I guess
the
we'll
question.
we'll talk about that later.
I said this person would be a great guest, and then you ghosted me, and then you said, "I think I have COVID."
Yeah. Well, that's
And
because
I
my
said-
temperature was like 101, and I looked at it and I'm like, you know, I thought I was dreaming earlier. Like I'm still kind of like foggy headed a little bit,
Yeah.
and I'm like, am I dreaming right now? Like something very strange happened to me. Doesn't matter what, but something very strange happened to me, and I'm like, am I dreaming?
Is your roof done yet?
Almost. They got one more day.
You don't have a very big roof. Shouldn't it just not take them that long?
Well, I mean, they did in 3 days. They started
Oh,
on.
okay. I only know this because my buddy edits roof videos.
Oh yeah.
And and he shows them to me sometimes, and I'm all, man, they're fast.
Well, mine's a simple roof anyway, so yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Like it should be fast, but there was some other stuff involved, and it was an involved thing.
Is it exciting with the new roof?
As exciting as a
Stuff
roof would be.
I don't know. Stuff
man.
like that is exciting to me.
Like, I don't know.
I'm excited. I don't know. Weird stuff excites me like that.
No, it is exciting because I mean, I don't know. No, I actually don't know. Sorry. I tried to jump on board with you on that one.
No, doesn't happen. I guess it's like the same excitement I have like getting my Titan in a couple weeks, and it's like
Okay, yes, it's that
Because-
same feeling.
it's like a refreshing feeling.
Okay, yes,
It's-
like
it's
when
a-
you get your
so-
seat done.
Exactly. So
Okay,
right,
yeah.
it's not like you're like when I pick my Tacoma up and I get my Tacoma done, it's going to be a very different feeling than the Titan.
Right. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like when you got your truck painted, how you felt like you were like, I like
Yes.
this.
Okay. I'll get on board with that. Yes. That is.
Yeah.
It is a good feeling that you're like, progressing on something.
Yeah.
Like
Like
you
you made something better. You made something better.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's something that like I decided to spend a lot of money on to get
Yeah.
done, and it's like okay, good. Now that's finished. It's perfect and it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now your roof won't leak.
Yeah.
When we're on trips and you get all crazy mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. So what are we doing? We're answering some questions. Is that what we're doing today?
I don't know. Is that what we're doing today?
That's what we're doing because we've been running this ship on fumes for a while now.
Yeah. This is true.
I mean, if we want to be completely honest with ourselves, but it's okay. I mean, I enjoy
We have
it
a
because
and we have a lot of refreshing like it's a perfect time to have these guests because if we do, let's say we do 4 episodes, 1 just me and you and 3 guests, like just 4. That's a month, and then by that time that month's over, there's going to be events we can talk about that we've gone to. I'm gonna have updates on truck stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll have some updates on truck stuff.
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, yeah. But at the same time though, like I like doing these things because one, it lets us interact with everybody who listens, which is so cool. Like at least somebody's listening, right? And two, it kind of like sparks good conversation, I think. You know what I mean? So
what, like, you mean these questions? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, the questions. What I say?
Are we about to? You just didn't intro that you were talking about. I thought you were talking about guests.
Oh, sorry.
Like, that's all right. But
I'm gonna bear with me. I'm still a little foggy.
It's okay. I'm gonna do the dropping in. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Drop!
And drop.
Dropping in.
Drop in.
Drop.
I dropped everything. I knew the drops would come.
Drop it!
Done.
All right. Welcome to Dropping In.
Welcome to dropping in. I sent you those questions. Did you have a chance to go over them?
I did go over them. My phone is actually charging over there. So if you would be so kind as to read them, and we can go from there.
All right. We'll do the first one. It's from our buddy Rob Collins.
Yeah. Oh, Rob.
Oh, Rob.
From our club.
Some of these I have the Instagram names, some I don't, but his is FFF_Pro4X.
Right. And we also have to mention that Rob is the president of the SoCal chapter.
Yes.
So he is a
Of our
bit of
club. He's a bit of a big deal.
a big deal. What do they call upper management?
Yeah. So
He's my president.
I already answered this question. I replied to him. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he said, "How do you feel about lifted trucks?" And I just put, "Sorry, can't compute."
Yeah. The reason he's asking is because he just got done lifting his truck.
Yes.
He's got what year? What is that? It's like a newer Frontier, right?
It's a brand new Frontier, yeah.
Brand new, brand new Frontier. And it was kind of to kind of wax on his truck a little bit. Didn't he have to use like some Titan parts on it or something because they don't make a lift kit for that truck yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All that
so-
stuff's pretty much interchangeable. So, and it also pushes the wheels out a little bit, gives it a lot wider stance. Funny story about Rob.
Oh,
Me
dude,
and
you have hundreds of stories about Rob.
And
But
his
what's
fish,
this one in
his
particular?
fish and his dogs and
Fish.
yeah, I have me and Rob met. We worked at McDonald's when I was 17 or 18 years old. So we go very far back.
Yeah.
And he started in the club with a VW Bug that
I thought he started with the hard body.
No, he had a Bug, and I shaved the entire Bug.
Oh, really?
The whole thing. We even shaved the vents above the motor, the ones that allow
Yeah.
airflow to come
Oh, you're the
in.
ones that need to cool the motor
Every
off?
time I see a Bug, I think of the time I shaved that. And I went, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you look back and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember us always talking about mods that you do that maybe you shouldn't do?
Yeah, like that one.
Well, maybe that one.
Yeah. And it had a huge stereo and it was slammed. So slammed it would just scrape on the ground just driving. It was cool.
Awesome.
So then he got the hard body. We all have make a joke one time, like when he was talking about doing, he had the club over to help lift the truck. And I always say, hey, we'll do it in a week and I'll bring pizza. Because we did that with his Nissan. So his
body
Nissan
drop
was
it?
just bagged. It was just bagged. And one time I go, we should body drop that. We'll come over. We'll do it in a weekend.
Yeah.
So that weekend turned into like a month and a half.
Yeah.
And the club only went over there one weekend, got it all done, and then left and never came back.
Really?
And then, so it was over. It was done at Bobby Veneri from No Regrets.
Okay, yeah.
It was at
which is his brother-in-law.
Yeah, which is brother-in-law. It was done at his dad's house, and his dad finally finished it because he wanted it out of the house.
Really?
Yeah, he welded
That's
it all
funny.
up. He's like, "Come get your truck."
Get your freaking truck
So
out of my
if you ever
garage.
in conversation, if you ever hear us go, we'll do it in a weekend. We'll just get it done in a weekend. That's the inside joke.
Oh, okay. Because I heard that. And, well, I mean, because, like, again, we've talked about this so many times before about doing mods and stuff like that. And with the planning stage and everything. And a lot of things happen like that. And that's like I say before, when someone's building a truck and they're, like, halfway through and they're like, oh, I'm going to body drop it. And then it just snowballs, turns into a big thing,
Yeah.
But that is, I mean, it's always a
But
thing.
we
Oh,
actually-
yeah, man, it'll be real easy.
We successfully did body drop it though. Like it was a success.
Technically.
Yes.
Now, the body was dropped over the frame.
It was body
just
dropped.
wasn't. It just wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I
done.
mean, but it did get finished and it
Yeah.
was fine. And we had pizza and a good time. So Then when me and him were roommates one time, he bought this like 4Runner off of a coworker of mine, and it ran like on two. It was a Toyota 4Runner, ran like on 2 cylinders, but he used to take it off roading. And ever since he sold that truck, he's always wanted something lifted.
Oh, so that's where it stemmed from for this one.
This is where it stems from.
Oh, cool. And then the club came over and lifted this one.
Lifted him. Yep.
Successfully.
Yes.
In a weekend.
In a weekend.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Went good. I like lifted trucks.
I love lifted trucks.
Yeah. My Titan used to be lifted. Mm-hmm. And in a future episode, the next episode of my project series that I have going on, I will talk about that.
Yeah, because it's really interesting, and it wasn't. You use that term "lifted" kind of relatively, conservatively. It was lifted.
It was the tallest 2-wheel drive Nissan Titan.
We've showed this picture before on the podcast, but it's always worth showing. We're parked in front of your house, and it's as tall as the second story of your house.
You could walk off of the roof and onto the hood.
That's awesome. So yeah, it was very lifted.
Yes. So we like lifted trucks, Rob.
I do. I've never owned a lifted truck. I mean, the closest I've ever owned to owning a lifted truck is a leveling kit on my Titan, but I've always admired them. And we've kind of talked about this before, and again, sparking conversation, right? Because we've discussed this before, and we kind of disagree. So like, there's definitely different types of lifted trucks in different areas. The extreme is like the billet lifted trucks in, Texas, big lifts, big billet wheels, which that
on the show side. Like when you say extreme, my extreme, like if you say extreme lifted trucks are like functional lifted trucks, like monster truck almost. That's extreme.
Okay. So you don't think the billet trucks are extreme?
Extreme on a showy wise. They're not functional wise. Like you're not going to go off roading with them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking.
There's show and there's function and form. So those are very extremely on the form side. They're not extreme on the function side.
I see. So maybe that. Bear with me too, because my brain's a little mush right now. So there's going to be a whole bunch of things. But yeah. So that's kind of where I was going. Yeah. So like I like lifted trucks, but my type of lifted truck is more like Rob's lifted truck, where it's like I guess the part where we disagree is like I say the SoCal style truck style, like lifted truck style, isn't necessarily a big lift. It's like a little lift, but it's like super functional, mid to long travel suspension, like built to go out to the
pre-runner.
Desert. Like a pre-runner, like they call them 14 class trucks, which is like a Ranger, Toyota, like, that kind of thing, which is a mid to long travel truck, very capable to go just railing through the desert. Yeah. So like if I was to build a lifted truck, like that's the more style that I would go to. Yeah. So like instead of like a 12-inch lift or like an 8-inch lift, it would be like a 6-inch lift, but with like, 35s, but smaller rim, like what they call them, like,
which is funny because that's actually more expensive than to do the other way around, depending on how far you go with like wheel costs and powder coating and chroming and all that stuff. But yeah, when it comes to like that style, like the pre-runner truck, like that's what I like as well.
Okay. I think the only part we disagreed on was like I was saying, because you said, no, the SoCal look is like a big lifted F-350. And I said, well, no, to me, the SoCal look is more like a pre-runner off-road kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I remember that conversation. And I was saying that, no, most of I remember we had this. It was the SoCal truck you were saying is a more functional truck. Mm-hmm. And what I said is it's not. Most of those trucks they just look that way.
Oh, that's where. Yeah.
So most of those trucks, if you go under them, they have a bracket lift, like a FabTech bracket lift. They're not like a true mid travel or long travel truck.
Okay.
They're just like a bracketed lifted truck with like wider wheels. You know what I mean?
But it still has. But that's like
has the same look.
It's like the look.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. It's because the pre-runner mid travel, long travel look or thing is that they replicated the look without spending the money.
Right.
And you could do that with a FabTech lift or a Pro Comp lift or a whatever, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and most of those, if you look under them, utilize like stock A-arms. Yeah. So that's what I was saying when it comes to function. It has the same function as a stock truck. It's just a little more ground clearance.
Yeah. And I think that happens with everything. Cause even if you were to take that same thinking and put it to one of the Texas trucks, like some of those trucks spend tens of thousands of dollars, although not functionally off-road, but functional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like driving down the road straight and not ready to fall apart. Those dudes spend tens of thousands of dollars to make that happen. But then the same thing happens is you have some dude who doesn't have tens of thousands of dollars who takes hockey pucks and shoves them up in
Well,
that
no.
thing.
So there's a difference there. So what
Okay.
I'm saying is you have a real pre-runner truck that's mid-travel or long travel. Then you have companies that made parts
I see. Okay.
that replicated that look but don't function the same. Where what you're saying is you just have a guy in a backyard that doesn't spend a bunch of money, stacks blocks and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's kind of where
I guess that's another. It all kind of exists within the same thing.
basically what I'm saying is I like that look.
That's basically what I'm saying too. Is basically I'm saying in the wide variety of lifted trucks, my taste tends to lean more towards that because growing up in SoCal in the high desert, that's what I was exposed to all of the time was just mid to long travel trucks. Especially, I mean, and that's just not a high desert thing. You go down to San Diego because those dudes are going to the Ocotillo Wells, you know, the dunes out there, Glamis, like they're all into that stuff and bleeds over into Orange County, like a lot of orange,
Well,
like
it's an entire Southwest thing.
it is
Anywhere
totally.
there's desert, that's just the way. Yeah.
Right.
That's-
And then,
that's
like
what-
I said, I'm just saying that there are just like in the mini truck world, or just in any kind of customization world, there's just a wide variety of trucks, you know, and some lean some ways. But you know what? It's funny that we're talking about this lifted truck thing. Not funny, but because we are. I found myself this last time at LST. Well, probably because I just finished my LST videos. Probably why this is in my head. But I started to really like some of those Texas trucks. At first, again, being from where I'm from and seeing lifted, you know, or not even, I wouldn't even call them lifted trucks, just like race trucks, you know, and because that's more what they are. They're more race trucks than lifted trucks, right?
Race trucks?
Like race trucks, like an off-road race truck, like a desert race truck.
Oh, like a pre-runner truck.
a
Like the
pre-run.
ones that we were just talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was my taste to begin with. So when I first went to Texas and started seeing those type of builds, I was like, eh. But I think every year that we go and the more I'm exposed to them, the more I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember this last time. I don't know if you remember it, and we'll throw in the clip of it. Is that it was like neon green and pink? Mm-hmm. It was like a Ram or something, and all the suspension was neon pink and green. And I just saw that and I was like, I like that. That's cool.
The amount of work that goes into those is crazy. And I'm the same way, you know what I mean? Like, would I do it? Is it my favorite thing? No, but when you look at it, you're just like, it's pretty cool. Yeah. You know what lifted trucks I really like?
Mm-hmm.
Hawaiian lifted trucks.
And here's the thing, okay? And I'm gonna say something, and then you can go ahead and correct me, because that's what happens. But anyway, so when I was first exposed to those like lifted trucks in Texas, like going way back, because I started going to LST in 2015, I was like, you know, looking at them and like the buddy that I took was a friend that I had for a long time. He's into that like, you know, 14 class race truck scene out here, and he's looking at him and he's like, man, this is like I don't know. But when the first time I saw him, like, oh, those are Sencal trucks. Because if you think about it, Sencal was doing that style truck. I think I don't want to say before because that's
It came from Hawaii.
But yeah, so that Sencal look came from the Hawaiian look.
Yep.
Because those dudes were doing it first. Big giant lift. I mean, they didn't have access to 20-inch billet wheels, but they were doing giant lifts with, you know, off-road tires, but
So-
that same look.
So it's the only thing that's similar is the lift. Everything else is
Well, yeah,
different
yeah.
because they
Oh, yeah.
use a smaller wheel with a bigger with a stretched tire. Like a now they have actually gone to it's almost like it went from Hawaii to Sencal, and then Texas had their own style of lifted trucks with big billet wheels, and then that reverted back to Hawaii to where
they're doing, yeah,
because
I've
then
seen that.
they got the billet wheels and the stretched tires. So it's like they went from small wheels to stretchy big tires, and then Sencal, and then Tech, and then it like went back. And so it kind of made like this loop, and then meshed it together. But yeah, I love that Hawaiian style of of lifted truck.
That truck that Tanner had, that red truck was a nice one.
Yeah. Okay, let's go for another question.
Okay.
This is from, dang it, Jason Corcoran. Trucker88NZ on Instagram.
New Zealand?
I don't know.
Oh, could be.
Possibly.
Oh, did you see our buddy Mick from Australia?
Mick Up Trucks?
Mick Up Trucks, yeah, and his story and everything like that. And now I said dollary do.
He was messaging me. We were talking about that the other night.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he's like, I was like, yeah, I think Frank got you mixed up because we have a Mick in our we have a Mickey in our club in Australia.
I thought that was the same person.
No, different person.
Oh,
Mick Up
yes,
Trucks.
he did ask the question about our favorite trucks in Forbidden Fantasy, so I just kind of like,
Put the two
But that
together.
wasn't it.
That makes sense to me.
but it wasn't it.
No.
It was a different person.
Different person.
Okay,
Same name, same country, so might as well be the same person.
come on,
Come on. Dollary dues.
dollary dues.
So this guy's question, Jason's question, what's your opinion on someone that wants to join a club without a running vehicle, but one in the build stages apparently?
Good question. You gotta finish it. You gotta.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing, I think you don't need to finish it to start petitioning the club,
okay,
because if you did, what are you going to do? You're like, hey, my truck's in the shop, but I'm not going to come hang out with you guys or petition till it's done.
that's fair.
So,
Yeah, that's fair.
The rule, basically, the unspoken rule in Forbidden is if you come with something not done, you can start the petitioning process like the hang around process, but you cannot be voted in until like it's on the road driving.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what kind of, because he was asking if you can get into the club.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Like that's why I was kind of
That's
like,
true.
very
Well, he said wants
harsh
to
in the beginning.
Yeah, wants to join a club. So if
Yeah,
someone wants
so-
to join a club, I think personally, if your truck's not done, this is what I would do. Okay, if I say my truck was in the garage cut in half, or was at a shop or whatever, and I was like, I want to join Aftermath, I would go and hang out with those guys and explain my situation and just say, hey, I want to join, but my truck's in the shop, but I just want to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good way. That's really good. And also, like, if you're, that's a really interesting position to be in as well. Because, like, say you wanted, say you wanted to join a club like Aftermath,
Yeah.
right? Their standards are very high.
Yep.
So if you're in the middle of the build and you decided to go after a club of a caliber like and I'm hesitant to say that because I'm, you know how I am, very hesitant to say things because I don't want to step on anybody. But I'm just saying that club in particular, because you use that for an example.
Yeah.
If you're in the build process, then hanging out with that type of club, you'd realize like either I need to build my truck to that caliber of acceptance, or maybe go check something else out.
Yeah, I also think you kind of know, like if you walked a show, you could kind of tell.
That's true.
The different clubs and the different things that have logos. Like you could literally look and go, oh, and this is why I'm so like, don't put a logo on your truck if it's ratty. Or don't put a logo on your truck if it's got wires everywhere. Because when you take that somewhere and people see it, they think that's they think that's the level they need to build their truck to get in that club.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you can have primer, you can have under construction, but it should be nice and well kept if there's a logo on it. But that's a side. That's a little side shot of this whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like if you're going out to dinner and you walk by a table and there's like a bunch of people wearing trashy clothes. Mm-hmm. Do you want to hang out with them, or do you want to hang out with the other groups that are a little bit more well dressed?
Yeah, I mean, very.
Depending on how trashy the clothes are, because you might want to hang out with them.
We're wading into some precarious territory here.
Let's get out of that one.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That was a very strange comparison, but like in my head, it made sense because I'm picturing like these people in like. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah. Moving on. All right. What you got? What's next?
Let's see. Oh, so Michael Myers.
Oh yeah. Oh, he had some. He had some good questions.
Yeah.
He always has some good questions. That dude has a lot of good questions.
He said, "Drop a question on you guys. It's kind of personal, so read ahead and discuss carefully if possible." He asked it, so we're going to read ahead. Have either of you guys been in a bad car accident, and how did you overcome it? He was just in a bad car accident on June 14th. He rolled his work truck, and it burned down to the ground almost instantly. So he's going to be out of work for a little bit, but I'm wondering how have you guys truly jumped over those bigger hurdles in life? And I told him, I responded, I said, I haven't, but you've been in a bad accident.
I've been in a few of them. I've been in a not super bad, one really super bad one, many others. That dude, his story, that's pretty traumatizing. Like
It is, yeah.
yeah. So I could see how like, you know, he would wonder how you would overcome that. The worst accident I ever been in was I got in a motorcycle accident. Rode a motorcycle. It's a long story, but I'm gonna expedite it a little bit. Rode motorcycles my whole life, dirt bikes, but not street bikes. Got a street bike. Literally the first day I had it, I got in an accident. Someone blew a stop sign in front of me. I T-boned them. I broke my femur. I had to be airlifted down to a hospital, and it was, you know, months of recovery. This is, I don't think he's going to want to hear this.
So skip to the part where you're trying to get over this. I think that's where his question is.
And this is where I'm never going to get on a motorcycle again.
Yeah.
So like, I know that, but it's like different. It's very
different.
easy to not ever get on a motorcycle again.
Yeah,
you know, but he has to go to work
and to get in a vehicle
get in a
because even if you don't get in a car, what are you going to do? Get on a bus? Like, you're still in a motorized vehicle.
Right. So like, it's apples and oranges kind of, because like, of course, like I don't ever plan on getting on a motorcycle again.
Yeah.
You know,
well, trauma is a thing.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Because we're even dealing with it here with Chelsea's sunburn that she got.
Oh really?
Yeah. We canceled a cruise. We had a cruise to the Bahamas.
You didn't tell me you canceled. You canceled it, huh?
Yeah, I canceled it yesterday.
Wow.
And
are you sure she's okay talking about this?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, just kidding. I think she's fine.
Okay.
But no, because like one of her favorite things was to go and hang out on, you know, whatever. And this like traumatized her to the point where she's like, never again.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously maybe a few years down the road, it'll again, but you know, anything trauma related is like, you're going to have to, I don't know how you get over that.
You know, weirdly different, but trying to tie it together. That happened to me too. Speaking of the sunburn thing, I got really sunburned one time, and now every time we go out, I make sure like I'm like kitted up, you know? And so to relate to his story, you know, that's the thing, is just be cautious of stuff, I guess, or just be. But then again, like,
because I got a sunburn when I was 16. Mm-hmm. Me and my cousin went out to the river, and I had to get picked up by my mom. And you know what I mean?
I don't remember you telling me this. Yeah.
Yeah. So she had to cut, because I was just like, I didn't prepare at all, like not well at all. And ever since that time, now I know if I don't want that feeling ever again, I have to take these steps in order not to.
Right.
Because I have to go outside. You know, one day I want a pool. Am I just going to hang out in my house the whole time?
Yeah. And look at it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like, yeah, I guess that you're right. You just have to be cautious and
just take what you can from that experience. Like to relate to my motorcycle story, I guess I'm way more caught, because like basically what happened was there was this like closed street for a long time, and ironically the day it opened is the day I decided to go down it. Well, there had been this stop sign that people were just used to blowing through, and so now that the person blew through the stop sign and I hit them and then I broke myself, but now I'm much more aware of that situation. So now when I'm coming up, you know, I'm a little more alert and aware. So maybe that's what you do, is you just, you know, just take what you can from it. And
it's just like anything. If you get pulled over for something, you're going to now be more cautious about what you got pulled over for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if someone got a DUI, they're probably, hopefully, not going to drink and drive anymore. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's just like anything else, you know, so you learn from, you know, but then with car accidents, sometimes there's like, yours was not your fault. Right. But you now are caught, like if you're on a motorcycle or anything, like even me, when I come up to like a four-way where I have their two-way stop sign or whatever, and they have to stop, like I look, like I'll try to like look up the road as I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Just because I always think of that, like that situation.
I kind of veer, you know, we go on so many road trips and we travel so much together, so we're just used to each other's driving. You know me, I kind of get a little skittish, actually. You're like, yeah, like I'm driving along and a truck moves over like 2 inches long, and you're like, whoa, what's wrong? Don't worry about it. So,
yeah. Well, no, because I look ahead of the truck and I was like, I kind of already know when something I expect that truck is going to move over.
Right.
Because I look so far ahead, and like my brain is like, oh, there's a slow car in the slow lane. There's a diesel truck. He's probably going to get over. So when he does start moving over, it doesn't surprise me. Like it's just, I don't know why my brain.
Prepared. Oh, I mean, hey, like I've said many times before, out of the two of us, you're the much better driver.
Different driver. I don't know about better.
Different. Yeah, definitely different. I'm like I've said this before, like I can go, but
yeah.
Anyway, good question. Like kind of a different question,
Yeah. And I hope you're all right. Like,
yeah, man, I hope you're okay, dude. That's like some crazy stuff to go through.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Moving on. No,
Moving on.
Sorry, Mike.
This one's from Rich Shoechuck.
Oh, good old Rich.
Another guy in our club.
I did. I just saw, funny enough, him pop up in someone else's story. He's on crutches for some reason.
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I don't go on Facebook, so he probably would have announced that, but I didn't. I actually saw it in someone else's story, and I'm like, is that Rich? Is he on
Yeah, I
crutches?
know. I'm the same way. I had to like get updated from something else. I think he posted on Instagram, or I don't know what he did, but I saw it, and then
Sorry, man.
yeah.
He put athletes. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
You know those middle-aged men that pretend that they're athletes.
Right.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's things going these days? I have a couple questions for you guys. One, do you think that there are certain mini truck styles that work better than others? In other words, a rat rod mini truck, 15-inch Steelies with big white walls, or a muscle mini truck, Euro mini truck, and Euro style wheels. Which ones do you feel belong, and which ones, if any, should not be a thing? And then two, over the years of us mini trucking, is there mods or fads that you wish would come back and done? We've answered that one.
Yeah, we've answered that one in my whole Testarossa thing.
Yeah, we've hit that thing like pretty well. Like, speaking of that, have you seen your Suicide Doors clip go viral over the last few days?
It kind of jumped back into the cycle. Like it went strong for a while.
Well,
and
Street Trucks shared it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they didn't tag you or anything, so I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then
wait, so did they like repost it?
I don't know how they did it. They shared it like they filmed it. And then
interesting.
My buddy from New Zealand, Matt, he runs a page called Low Fast Famous. He also did.
Oh, okay. I did notice that it was getting kind of more comments. It kind of like it took off like wildfire and then kind of like died out. And I'm like, oh, well, that was the end of that one. But then it's sort of like taking off again. The comments in that thing are hilarious.
Yes.
They're so funny.
Yeah.
Like I haven't looked at all of them, but it'll give me notifications and stuff that'll pop up. And for people listening, I don't have to post a whole video. Actually, just go over to my Instagram, custom_life. Go watch it. It's this Tacoma with Suicide Doors that I caught out at Mini Nats. And it's the dude cruising, and he just has one door open. I think both doors open. They're cruising, just cruising along. People have picked apart that video from the Suicide Doors to the shoes he's wearing to the type of cooler he had in the bed.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was wild. One dude was furious that it wasn't an actual Yeti cooler. He lost his freaking mind. I couldn't believe it. I don't comment on anything. I'm just observing. Yeah. But the dude was just livid that it was like some Walmart brand wannabe Yeti cooler. The internet's wild.
The internet is wild, man. Yeah. So that's what. Yeah, I don't know where they got it from. I'm sure someone reshared it and then they saw it and they reshared it. But, just like the old internet, not to research who filmed something. Or a question that just says this is all going to be a very interesting topic when we talk to Joe.
Oh yeah, because Joe is like a social media. I want to call him a social media like genius. What is
no,
he?
Not a genius. He's just
he really understands it.
He understands it. Yeah. So I want to when we pick his brain about certain things, this will be in that topic of like tag the owner type thing because they didn't even type that. They didn't even like tag the owner or tag the whoever filmed it. You know what I mean? Like, that's another topic. Anyway,
we kind of went off on that, but talk about Rich's question.
Yeah. So basically, I know why he asked this question.
Oh,
he absolutely hates rat rod mini trucks.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think again, okay, because he asked like what shouldn't exist. That's a loaded question. That's not for us to decide. You know,
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
things
yeah.
that we like. I think our listeners and viewers know what our taste is. At least for me, they know my taste is early to mid 2000s mini trucks, big body mods, big wheels, big body drops. You know, with the resurgence of this like 90s culture coming back out, like with tilt beds and, you know, wire wheels and pattern paint jobs and stuff, especially here in Southern California, it's really taking off. Not my taste at all. But to say that it shouldn't exist, that's a bit bold.
Yeah. And I think anything is cool if it's done right.
I agree.
So
absolutely.
You could take a rat rod mini truck, and it doesn't have to look like a rat rod per se, but it could have rat rod-esque things about it.
Right.
And like a cool different type of steering wheel, you know what I mean? Or like it doesn't have to be all rusty. It could just have like traces of patina on it, depending on the age of the truck.
Right.
I mean, because what would you say would be a rat rod mini truck?
I'm
like,
trying to think.
What's a rat rod in general? Like a rat rod in general is essentially an old hot rod.
And
That's a whole nother topic.
to dig into that, maybe we'll just lightly dip our toes in it. The whole term rat rod was loaded to begin with anyway. That was like a mid 2000s thing. That was just that was someone taking, because the where that stems from is actual traditional hot rodding.
Yeah.
They're talking like Viva Las Vegas type hot rods. And someone took that idea of a traditional hot rod and then maybe like did some cool patina on it, and then someone said, "Oh, okay, I could do that." And then it kind of like, and I'm going to use this term. This is a loaded term by itself. Maybe they devolved into like this thing where someone just has this completely barely held together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it, but
though the term rat came from ratty.
exactly, yeah.
Like that's ratty. Like that's like not done well. It's kind of ratty.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Which I think the height of that look that I saw, which couldn't, I mean, yeah, I've seen trucks that are like where they've made like the floor out of license plates and it's half of it's rusted and gone, which is pretty crazy. But the pinnacle, the absolute peak of rat rod, when I was like, they've gone too far, is because then they started, like I said, they started with like doing license plate floors and license plate seats, and then adding bits and then maybe like a gear hanging there or a wrench welded here. It was a spike welded to the middle of the steering wheel. And it was just, I mean, a literal spike coming off. And the idea is, I guess, if you're macho enough, you could drive this car that could kill you, you know? Like, and I looked at that, I'm like, that's the peak. Or that's, what's the term that they use in TV? That's, they jumped the shark. That was it.
I never heard that term.
You never heard that term?
No.
Really? You
Jump
remember
the shark?
Jump the Shark, yeah. So you remember the show Happy Days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great show, right?
Yeah.
Well, until there was this episode where Fonzie was wearing a leather jacket being towed behind a boat water skiing, and he literally jumped over some sharks. And that moment was the show when the show just fell down and went south. So now when...
I've never heard the jump the shark.
Oh, so now when TV shows, when they get to a certain point, like they start off really good and then they just sort of become like a parody of themselves and it just turns into a crappy show, they call that jumping the shark.
Jump the shark.
But rat rods.
Rat rod, yeah.
Rat
Makes
rods.
sense. Happy days.
Happy
Fonz.
Days. Fonz. Rat rods. Oh my God. We're everywhere today. I'm full of Dayquil and hopes and dreams.
I think when you start to make something look terrible just for the sake of making it look terrible, then I think you've lost the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
To me,
Yeah,
because
exactly. Yeah.
because you can have a cool old patina truck, but then when you start like adding crappier things to it, it's kind of like, well, the patina-ish, the radish look, if you found it in a barn, think of that, you know?
Yeah.
Or sitting in someone's backyard and you took it and you the exact way that looks and you laid it out. That's cool.
That's cool.
It's hard with mini trucks because we haven't come to the age yet where that's cool. We're getting there.
Yeah. There have been a couple of them.
There have been a couple of them.
I'm sorry. Hang on to your thought, but I just want to interject this really quick.
Yeah.
Because a really cool one is that Datsun.
The yellow one?
No, it's white. Well, maybe it's yellow. No, it's white. It's white. It's been to shows in a lot of places, but it's on BBS wheels. Really nice BBS wheels. I forget what motor is it. I want to say a 1JZ. I don't know. It's got a really cool motor in it, but the whole rear quarter panels are rusted completely out.
I don't know if I don't know.
If you go check out my LST video over on the Custom Life channel.
Where was that parked at?
West
wait.
Everett.
You're just the one that you're working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
The video you're working on right now.
The
Not
one that's uploaded.
well, you have a few uploaded. The most recent one.
The most recent LST video that was uploaded today on the Custom Life channel.
So you're confusing me because
Sorry.
I'm like, what year was it there?
Yeah.
Yes, and there's also been some cool mini trucks that were made to look patina.
And I was trying to think. I think the best example of that look was the what's it called? What's that dude called with it was a peach standard cab Mazda, Billy Bob's Customs. It was
the Datsun too.
Oh, he did the Datsun as well?
No, not the white one you're talking about.
Oh, some of
the white one.
Confused right now.
The white one you're talking about is actual rust and falling apart type rust, right?
Yes. And
So
I
the
should
one-
also clarify that this Datsun is a car.
Oh, see, I'm thinking a truck. You're talking
I
about the
know.
twisted
I'm
you're talking about Twisted Phil.
Yes.
Okay, that car is dope. That's
Yeah.
not a mini truck though.
I know.
Dude.
This episode is off the rails.
Yeah. I don't know what his Instagram is. And I'm just going to stop now but anyways, there's been some cool trucks that have been done where they take the paint and make it look patina. Mm-hmm. You know, there's that pink Datsun from the Northwest. There was, these are just off the top of my head. So I don't know, Rich. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, that is sort of like the underlying theme of this entire podcast.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't, any style is cool. Like you said, any style can be cool if it's done right. If you're into it, you're into it.
Well, and he brings up like muscle mini trucks, and muscle mini trucks are rad too. There's
oh yeah,
you know, with a big old those Chevy Loves that were at that diesel truck show that I went to with all the V8s that were drag racing.
Yeah.
Drift mini trucks are cool.
Mm-hmm. Like there's that Tacoma from also that was LST with an LS motor in it. That was cool.
Yeah. So and he brings up Euro trucks with Euro style wheels, which his truck, the Mazda that he's building, has a very European style wheel on it.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's all cool.
Yeah, everything's cool.
Everything's cool if you do it right. Mm-hmm. Even stuff I don't like, or not. And I say don't like, but I'm not into like a tilt bed, that style. But at the same time, when I see one and it's got the perfect wheels on it, they're a little bit sticky outy, and it's got and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. Great questions. Hope your ACL heals.
What are we at?
Let's do one more, a quick one. You got a quick one?
I don't know. Let's see. That's not a quick one. This is the one I said could get us in trouble from Mike. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Backe. Would that be back?
Yeah, he's asked. Yeah, we've answered some of his questions before.
He said, I got a question. Don't think you've had yet. Who would you say has done the most for the mini truck community? Builders, magazine guys, shops, etc.
Yeah. I thought about this too. Because this is, I've brought this up before that when we talk about builders and people from the past, I mean, it's very easy to pull names out to say, oh, these people did innovative things. These people did inspiring things. These people benefited the scene. And it's really easy to name those names, and people will go like, oh, yeah, that guy. Definitely. Good example would be Boyd Coddington. You could just pull out that name. You could say he was an innovator. You could say that everything he built contributed. Yeah. He made wheels. His son makes wheels now. So he is a huge part of that community.
Well, I don't think he was asking necessarily for someone in particular. Mm-hmm. He was asking as which area, have the builders done the most? The magazines done the most?
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. I was going down the completely wrong road.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think, I think without the actual people that the first guy that got a mini truck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it's the I don't think it's any of those people.
Yeah.
I think because without the first person to like lower a mini truck, there would never be a builder.
Right.
There would never be a shop or a magazine or anything.
The first guy we actually know is what's the guy's name? Who the first guy to put bags in a truck was that green Toyota?
Gendro.
Yeah, Gendro. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, that's the thing is like, and that's was kind of what I was the little rabbit hole that I was going down. I don't know that guy, so I'm like, that guy did an amazing thing for the scene.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying him in particular, but I'm just saying like to kind of like finish my thought, just because I kind of opened that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, we could name tons of names that have made the scene better and done things and innovative things, you know. But you could also say, well, this person said this or this person did that. That's throughout history.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think that like, you know, it's I think it's okay to say like, oh, this person did something innovative, and then someone could say, well, you know, this guy said this. It's like, doesn't matter. This is what he did.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
So
there's
that was
also
just kinda
like
finishing my thought on that.
Yeah. I tried not to like say names of because like this person is the first or this person is the best or because there are people out there I have no idea who they are that are doing just as good things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I don't know the people on the East Coast or the South or in
Right.
Canada or in Australia or in this like. So I don't want to sit here and say, oh, this person's the best or this person's this
That's
or
my
this
point.
person did the
Right.
most because there could have been someone before him that we have no idea. That's why it's very hard when with these type of accolades, you know what I mean? Like it's just, I think the person that wasn't scared to cut their truck up to whether it was to put adjustable suspension on it or body drop it or whatever, those are the people that deserve the most credit.
Oh yeah.
You know, the guys in their garage that went, I mean,
I'm going to do this.
I'm going to cut my floor out of my truck and bring the body down to the frame. It's like, imagine that conversation. Like the truck's laying flat on the floor and you're like, all right, guys, how do we get this lower? And you're just sitting there looking at it and you're like, well, we could just lower the actual body around the frame. And they go, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, let's try it. You know, that's
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, I totally get it. You know, when we answer a lot of these questions, we end up being a little vague on it all, but that's the world, man. The world's a little vague and a little open for conversation and open for nuance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
good.
exactly. We don't know everything. We don't know a lot of stuff.
Oh boy.
like if you want to really get into the thing, I've always said this, if you want to get into like history and like particulars and things like that, go and talk to Jason at OLP.
Oh yeah, that dude knows the history of everything.
He'll be like, yeah, this person is the first mini trucking cover. Like it's like how you are with bands. You could be like, oh yeah, this is the drummer of this band is this, and he's been in this band and this band and this band. And then you talk to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I know those bands.
Like, oh, those are words I know.
And I like those bands and I listen to that music all the time, but I have no idea who is in those bands.
Right.
And I don't know their albums, where you are more like into that. Then that's exactly what Jason, because someone could be like, do you know this truck? And I'll be like, yeah. They're like, do you like this truck? And I'll be like, yeah. They're like, do you know who bagged it? And I'll be like, no.
But Jason will be like, well, he did it on this day in 1992. And, and it was a fine summer day.
Exactly.
I love you, Jason. You're great.
You know, that's how Cheesy is in our club, but Cheesy doesn't have a podcast, so I'm not talking about him.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Well, good. Cool. Well, good, man. Well, we hobbled this one together.
Yeah, we did we literally hobbled it together.
Yeah.
Thanks to the people that asked us the question. Imagine if we didn't have questions.
I know.
We would like
I know. We're like, what's up, man?
Yeah. So your roof, huh?
Yeah, the roof. Yeah. No, we're so thankful.
Two guys that have literally not left their house all week trying to talk about things.
Yeah. No, I'm so thankful for all of our listeners and all the people, like all of our friends who are very supportive of us. And
most of our listeners, quote unquote, like
our friends.
You say it like we have a radio station with thousands of people listening.
I know.
No, just our buddies.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, friends.
We really appreciate you guys. Like, we're like toddlers. They're like, come on, go. We're like, yeah, we're doing it.
Yay.
But anyway, actually, if everything worked out, probably not. Later on this week, after this episode airs, probably towards the end of the week, I'll have some hats for sure on the website for people to purchase. I'll have two different designs, all the same color, on the website for purchase. And RJ just finished them today, so I'm getting them soon.
And we should have drop hats soon.
Oh, okay. Did he do them around the same time?
Yeah, because he was also doing new wallets for me.
Oh, okay.
And he went through, like, I think something happened at where he's at, and he just kind of was going through some motions because he must have messaged me probably the same day he messaged you, like, hey, I've been sitting on these for a while. I'm getting them done right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But
so,
that's real quick. That's our good friend
Yep.
RJ Silva at Eye Candy Designs, and he does all of our hats. So if you're wearing one of our hats, RJ made it.
yes.
So big shout out to him.
And also, I think the first episode that we will put out of the interviews will be Seth.
Okay. Which is
Seth
from Switch Suspension, the owner of Switch Suspension.
Because we're going to put him on the spot for a giveaway.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
We're going to be like, what are we giving away, Seth? And he'll be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. He's all, who are you guys?
Yeah. And hopefully, too, we'll have a new intro for the podcast
Oh, cool.
with that and 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 that.
All right, cool. We'll see you next week then.
Bye.
Later.